Welcome. Come to find a comfortable seat. Rest your hands on your thighs and gently close your eyes. Settling into the space. And bringing the awareness to your breath. And as we begin our practice, let's check in with the quality of the breath. Is it shallow, sharp? Or as you begin to bring awareness, can you lengthen the inhales and the exhales? Can you lengthen the space between the inhale and the exhale? Taking this moment to truly appreciate the breath and what it does for us, what it does for our body, our mind. It is the one thing that we use through our whole entire life. It is the first thing we do when we enter this world. And it is the last when we depart. It's truly miraculous. It is something that we can use to tap into whenever we feel stressed, we feel anxiety or anger. We can use it as a tool to bring us back to a place of balance and ease. Let's begin to invite Ujjayi breath, slight restriction into the back of the throat, creating an audible sound that reflects the sound of the waves in the ocean. Begin to gently open the eyelids and move yourself into tabletop, hands and knees. We'll begin with cat-cow, moving through extension and flexion of the spine using our breath. Inhaling to drop the belly, lift the tailbone and look forward. Exhale and round the spine, pressing your shoulder blades up, rounding the tailbone, chin to your chest. Full breath in to drop the belly. And exhale to round. Continue moving with the pace of your own breath, pausing at any point to explore the sensations that come up. Taking your final exhale here, rounding through the spine. And on your inhale, find a flat back, but slightly lift your tailbone. Then from here, tuck the toes under, preparing to move into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Keep lifting your tailbone up as you gently draw your heels down. It might feel nice to pedal it out as you bend one knee, straightening the other leg, and alternating. Pressing firmly into your finger pads and your knuckles and creating length all the way up through your arm bones and side waist. Inhale and exhale it out. From here, begin to take little steps to the top of your mat, finding your forward fold, Uttanasana. Bowing your head down, letting go of any tension in the neck. Bring your hands onto your hips. Slowly begin to stack the spine, coming up to standing. Head comes up last. Hands by your side, mountain pose, Tadasana. On an inhale, take the arms overhead. Exhaling to hinge forward, forward fold. Inhale, find a flat back, bringing your hands onto your shins. Exhale, take it all the way down. Forward fold. Root down from the feet and inhale to rise, taking the arms overhead. Gaze to your thumbs. Exhale, hands by your side, mountain pose. Inhale to reach, looking up. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift on the inhale, lead with your heart. And exhale, fold all the way down, looking towards your belly button. Press down through your heels, inhale to rise, reach the arms. Exhale, mountain pose. Pressing the hips forward, lifting the chest. Inhale, reach your arms overhead, little back bend. Exhale, diving down, forward fold. Halfway lift on the inhale. Exhale, step, step back into plank. Shoulders stacked over wrists. And gently drop your knees down and lower slowly to the mat, using the strength of your arms. Uncurl the toes, engage the glutes, lifting the heart, little cobra. Press the shoulders back. And then lower down gently, exhale. Press yourself up onto your knees. Lift the hips up, downward facing dog. Inhale. And exhale it out. Taking the option to either step forward, or if it's in your practice, little hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, find your flat back, and exhale, forward fold. Root down from your heels, and inhale to rise all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands by your side, mountain pose, Tadasana. Inhale to reach arms overhead, lift the heart, and exhale to fold from your waist. Inhale to lead your heart forward, find your flat back. Exhale, take it down, either step or little hop to the back of your mat. Option to drop the knees or lower Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to roll onto the tops of the feet, upward facing dog. Pull the shoulders back, drawing the base of your pelvis forward towards the top of your mat. Keep lifting and lengthening out of your chest. Inhale. And as you exhale, curl the toes under, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Bring the big toes together, bend the knees, look towards your thumbs. And if you're ready, take that little hop to the top of your mat. Halfway lift on the inhale. Exhale and fold forward. Inhale to rise, reaching the arms overhead, look towards your thumbs. And exhale, hands by your side, mountain pose. Begin to sink the hips back, moving into chair pose, Utkatasana. Feel the weight in your heels, lifting and lengthening out of your side waist. See if you can sink a little deeper here. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to that flat back, lengthen your heart forward. And as you exhale, either step or lightly hop back. Lowering down on your exhale. Inhale, moving into either cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lift the hips high. Press your chest towards your thighs. On your inhale, lift the right leg into the air for a three-legged dog. And as you exhale, bring that right knee towards your chest. Step that foot in between your hands, setting up for warrior one. Back heel drops. And once you find your balance, inhale, reach the arms overhead. Pull navel to spine and keep lifting, lengthening out of your chest. Feel the strength. Inhale and exhale. Let's take one more breath here, full breath in. And as you exhale, float the hands back down to the mat beside your front foot. Step back through to plank, lowering down on the exhale. Lead your heart forward and up, cobra or upward facing. Exhale, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. On your next in-breath, take that left leg into the air, three-legged dog. And as you exhale, bring that knee towards your chest. Then plant the foot between your hands, setting your back foot up at a 45 degree. Inhale, reach the arms up, Virabhadrasana 1. See if you can sink a little lower in those legs, ensuring front knee is stacked over ankle. Check in with the breath. Gently breathing in. Exhale to float your hands back down, step back into plank, and lower down on your exhale. Inhale into your back bend. Exhale, lift the hips up, downward facing dog. Settling into this pose. Take 2 breaths here. On the bottom of your exhale, begin to bring your toes together, bend the knees. Look where you're going and hop to the top. Inhale to find a flat back, halfway lift. Exhaling to fold. Moving into Utkatasana, chair pose. Sit the hips back, reach the arms forward. Pull navel to spine and lift up through your chest, creating a little back bend. Sink a little lower. Inhale and exhale. Inhale to rise, reaching the arms overhead. Exhale to let the arms come by your side, mountain pose. Playing with our balance next, moving into Vrikshasana, tree pose. Ground down firmly through the left foot. And with the right leg, either bringing the toes, keeping them on the mat, shin, or above the knee. Bringing your hands to your heart center. Lift and lengthen up through that left thigh, growing as tall as possible from your roots to the crown of your head. Full breath in. Let that go. Keep pressing the sole of the foot into your thigh, thigh pressing back. Then we're going to gently bring that right knee to center and then slowly kick it back behind you. When the toes touch down, turn the foot 90 degrees and we'll open the arms out to the side, warrior 2. Front knee tracking over ankle. Settling into the space, feeling the strength within the legs. Inhale here. And exhale, bring your elbow down to your front knee, sweep that top arm up and over. Moving into our sideways angle here. And then as you inhale, come back to warrior 2. Straighten the front leg, kick the hips back, moving into Trikonasana, triangle pose. That bottom hand can come down to your calf, maybe a block, maybe even the floor. Inhale to stack the shoulders. Exhale, bring yourself back up, hands to your heart, step to the top of the mat, finding Samastitihi. Moving into our tree pose on the other side, grounding down through the right leg, all 5 toes grounding. Rotate that left knee out, and again, toes can stay on the mat, maybe on the calf, maybe above the knee. Find what's working with your body today. Hands to your heart center. You could always take your arms overhead or find a mudra. Be a little creative with your practice. Keep lifting, lengthening from your base all the way up through that right leg, through your rib cage, heart center, crown of the head. Keep those shoulders relaxed down, away from your ears. And if your hands are up, bring them slowly back down to your heart center. Release that left leg and begin to kick that leg back behind you till the toes tap down onto the floor, and we open up our body into Warrior Two. Just peeking down at that front knee, making sure it's stacked over your ankle. See if you can sink a little lower. Lifting and lengthening from your waist while keeping the shoulders relaxed. We're going to take that right elbow to right knee, sweep the left arm up and over, bicep along your ear, sideways angle. Inhale and rotate your chest towards the ceiling. Feel that movement coming from your spine. As you inhale, come back to Warrior Two. Straighten the front leg. Reaching forward, hips kick back, Trikonasana triangle pose. Feeling the strength in your legs. Your heart opening. Inhale and exhale. Press down through your front foot. Slowly bring yourself back up to Warrior Two. And hands to your heart and step forward to the top of your mat. Samastitihi. Moving next into Garudasana, eagle pose. Grounding down through the left leg. Lifting the right knee and wrapping that leg around once, maybe twice, hooking those toes around your calf. Or you could take a block underneath that right foot or toes on the floor for more support and balance. Inhale, reach the arms out to the side and wrap that right arm underneath left, squeezing forearms towards one another. Inhale, lift the elbows up, and exhale, press them away from your face, rounding through the upper back, shoulder blade area. Breathe into that space between the shoulder blades. Inhale. Exhale, sink a little lower, pulling navel towards your spine. Very gently releasing the arms and then the legs, finding mountain pose, Tadasana. Close the eyes, take an inhale. Exhale it out softly. Other side, ground down through the right foot. Lift the left knee, wrap that leg once, maybe twice. Reach the arms out to the side. Left arm wraps underneath right arm. Eagle arms. Reach the elbows up to about chin height and press them away from your face. Squeeze the thighs towards one another a little tighter. And then release the arms. Release the legs. Mountain pose. Inhale. And exhale. We're going to move next into our wide-legged forward fold, Prasarita Padottanasana. If you have a block, it might be very useful. Go ahead and grab that now. And then take your feet wide, toes pointing forward. Place the block just where underneath your shoulders, your face. Hands on your hips, inhale, and create length all the way up through your spine. Maybe a little back bend if that feels okay. And then as you exhale, hinge forward from your waist, leading with your heart. And hands can come down onto that block or the floor. Just feel the sensation of all four corners of your feet. Inhale here. Exhale. Moving into a twist, we'll take the left hand onto the block underneath your shoulder. Right hand to your hip. Inhale, find length through the crown of your head. And as you exhale, begin to twist and turn towards the right. Moving from your spine and keeping your hips stable, stationary. Keep using your breath to twist deeper. Inhaling to find length in the spine. Exhaling to explore that twist a little more. Maybe that right hand comes up towards the ceiling. One more breath here. Inhale. And exhale. Slowly bring that right hand down, replacing the left. We'll move on to the other side. Left hand to your hip. Inhale, lengthen through the crown of your head. And exhale, take that twist. Inhale, create length from your tailbone all the way to the crown of the head. And exhale, twist a little deeper, pulling those shoulders down away from your ears. Feel the rooting sensation of your feet. And then as you exhale, slowly unwind, come back to center. Place that block off to the side and folding all the way down. Option to maybe grab the calves, ankles, big toes, pull yourself in further. Let the crown of your head get really heavy towards the earth. Press down through your big toes. Inhale, lengthen halfway up. Stay for the exhale. Press down through the feet. Inhale, come all the way up. And we'll step together at the top of the mat, mountain pose. Moving through Surya Namaskar. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, find your flat back, lengthen your heart forward. Little hop to the back of the mat, lower Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog, pulling those shoulders back. Exhale, lift the hips up, downward facing dog. Inhale. Let that go, exhale. Inhale, lift the right leg into the air, three-legged dog. As you exhale, step that foot in between your hands. Staying up on your back foot, heel lifted. Reach the arms up high, crescent lunge. Maybe sinking a little lower into those legs. Inhale, lift the heart, lift the arm bones. And exhale, sweep the hands down, step back into plank. Lowering down on your exhale. Inhale, upward facing or cobra. Exhale, lift the hips high, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the left leg into the air, three-legged dog. Exhale, step it in between the hands. Staying high on the ball of that back foot. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead, high lunge. Make sure that back heel is lifted and pressing away from you. Back leg is strong and firm. Inhale here. And as you exhale, sweep the hands down. Step back, flowing through to plank and lowering on your exhale, either from the knees or halfway. Inhale, upward facing, pull those shoulders back. Exhale, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Settle into that space. Explore what it feels like to create length through the sides of your waist. Continue pressing your tailbone up towards the sky and grounding your heels towards the earth. Taking one more breath here. And then we'll make our way into child's pose, dropping the knees down to the mat, bringing the big toes together. Wrap the arms by your side and bow the forehead to the mat. Or you could take a block underneath the forehead if that's more comfortable. Inhale to fill the backside body with air. And exhale, soften down through the shoulders. Just let all the dust settle. Taking one more breath here. As you come up, place the hands underneath the shoulders gently to press yourself back up. Rolling over onto your hip and laying on your back, preparing for bridge pose. Once you arrive, firmly plant the feet into the mat, toes pointing forward. Gently draw your tailbone down towards your heels. The low back flattens onto the floor. Press firmly down through the feet and inhale, lift the hips up. Rolling one shoulder down and then the other, maybe interlacing the fingers underneath your back to really open up the shoulders and chest. Press the shins away from you towards the top of the mat to create more length throughout your body. Find your breath. Connect to the moment. Maybe it might feel nice to close the eyes here. If your hands are interlaced, gently release and slowly take the spine one vertebra down at a time. Hug the knees into your chest, press down into your low back. It might feel good to rock left to right, side to side. And then take the feet back down to the mat. We're going to do bridge one more time, but a different variation, walking the feet a few inches further away from you, pointing the toes up towards the ceiling and the heels pressing down. From there, we ignite the hamstrings to engage a little bit more. Inhale to reach the hips up. Continue pressing your heels down into the mat. Imagine you're trying to press the heels back towards you. Building strength and stamina into the back line of our body. One more breath here. Inhale. Exhale to very slowly lower your spine back down to the mat. One more time, hugging those knees into your chest. Moving into a reclined twist from here. You can take your feet back down to the mat, lift the hips, and move them over to the left a few inches. Keep the knees together as they fall over towards the right. Arms can open up like a T, gazing over towards your left thumb to get the full rotation through your spine. Explore what it feels like to deepen the breath here. Explore what it feels like to expand into the lungs, the rib cage, the intercostal muscles. And with every exhale, allow those shoulders to sink down and get heavy towards the mat. Releasing and unwinding any lingering tension. Take an inhale here. Sigh it out, exhale. Gently coming back through to center with the legs and the neck. Plant the feet down for a moment to reset the spine. We'll lift the hips, move them over to the right, and let the knees fall to the left. Gently turning your head, looking over towards that right thumb. Settle into this space with softness and grace. Scanning for any residual tension and letting it go completely using the breath. Let that exhale dissolve anything that no longer serves you. Coming back through gently to center, feet on the floor, reset the spine. And we'll take the knees once more towards the chest, hands behind the thighs, to gently roll yourself back up to seated. We'll take the legs out long, toes pointing up towards the ceiling, heels pressing away. Avoid the toes from moving away from one another, splaying out to the side. Keep the toes pointing straight up towards the ceiling. If you find that's really intense, it might feel nice to put a prop underneath your knees for a little ease on the hamstrings. Take the hands behind your hips, inhale and find length all the way up through the crown of your head. And as you exhale, start to hinge from that waist, folding forward. Feel the length all the way from the sole of your foot, traveling the back of the leg, all the way up through your back and to the base of your neck. With every inhale, create a subtle length through the spine. And as you exhale, pull your belly button in and up to create more space to fold deeper. Just a couple more breaths here. Taking one or two more breaths here to finish the pose. Before you come up, keep your chin tucked towards your chest. Let your head be the last thing that comes back up to neutral. Inhale to slowly rise. From here, we'll take the legs wide, moving into Upavishta Konasana, wide-legged forward fold. Once again, we want to see that the toes are pointing up towards the ceiling, keeping the legs active here. If you find that your low back is rolling backwards, it's great to use a prop underneath your seat, either a block or a blanket, to create that length all the way up through the spine. We can start with our hands behind us or on our legs. Inhale to find length. Exhale, hinge from that waist. And try to maintain a flat back here as we start. Keep moving from your hips, keeping your legs active. Crawling the fingers as far forward as you can. It doesn't take much to get a lot of sensation in this pose. So give it patience, give it grace, and listen to your body. Checking in with the breath, and checking in with the subtle sensations. See if you can fold into it a little deeper from here. Inhale to create length. Exhale to soften down. Taking one more breath here, full inhale and exhale. Very mindfully begin to walk your hands back, creating a neutral spine. Moving next into Baddha Konasana, or butterfly, bringing the soles of the feet towards one another. Grab a hold of the feet just as if you were holding a book. This might be a great option to grab a block for some support as you move into the fold. So if you have a block, go ahead and grab that. And we'll start to hinge forward. Once again, keeping that back as straight as possible. And when it can no longer go any further, begin to walk your hands forward. This is where it might be a great option to have a block. You can rest your elbows, maybe even your forehead if the flexibility is available. Allow your hips to let go and soften. Knees get heavy. If it feels safe, closing the eyes, tuning inward, placing your awareness to the space between the eyebrows, the third eye. Simply just watching the movie screen behind your eyelids. One more breath here. Gently press yourself back up to a neutral spine and make your way down onto your back. Once you arrive, take the legs, the knees up towards the chest and hug them in for a moment. We're going to do a gentle inversion here as we extend one leg up and then the other. If it feels okay, taking the arms down onto the floor, resting the shoulders. Just allowing that blood flow to reverse back to the heart effortlessly. Inhale. Exhale. From here, slowly lowering one leg down and then the other. Preparing to move into our Savasana, final resting pose. If you're having any tension in the low back, it might feel nice to keep the legs bent, knees falling towards one another. Or come and extend the legs mat distance apart, arms by your side, palms facing upward. Taking a moment to allow the shoulders to drop down away from your ears. Maybe slightly tucking the chin to create length in the back of the neck. Close your eyes. Settle in. Let's take an inhale here together, breathing fully through the nose, filling the belly. And exhale it gently side out the mouth. Connecting now with this present moment. Becoming aware of any subtle sensations that arise. And just simply be aware. Bringing your awareness back into the physical space. Breathe in through the nose. Exhale, side out the mouth. Invite micro movements back into your hands, your fingers, your thumb, maybe into the toes. Maybe rolling the wrists, the ankles, turning your head left and right. Begin to slowly awaken the body. Be very mindful with every movement you make. Let's come to bend the knees and gently roll over onto your right side, using your bottom arm as a pillow. Take a moment here. Take a breath. And using the strength of that top arm to press yourself up, you can come to find a comfortable seated position. Gently closing the eyes, bringing the hands to your heart. Taking a moment to fully feel that gratitude for your practice. And coming back to that gratitude for your breath. It is the one thing that stays with us our whole life. It is the first thing we do when we enter the world. And it is the last when we depart. It has truly been an honor to guide you through your practice today. The light in me honors and sees the light within you. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.